All right, let's talk about money. Today, we're going to break down a financial philosophy that pretty much flips everything you've ever heard about saving money completely upside down. It's all from the bestseller, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, and it's centered on one core idea, designing what's called your rich life.
So let me ask you something, and I bet this sounds familiar. Why on earth do we argue with ourselves about buying a $3 latte? You know that whole internal debate? It's because sweating the small stuff, it makes us feel like we're in control. But in reality, it's just a distraction. A total distraction from the big money moves that could actually change your life.
Okay, so this really lays out the two paths, right? On one side, you've got the advice we all hear. Cut back, track every single penny, feel guilty every time you swipe your card. It's a life of no. But the rich life approach, it's the total opposite. It's not about saying no more often. It's about figuring out your big wins, setting up an automated system to handle the boring stuff, and then, and this is the best part, spending extravagantly on the things you truly love, guilt-free.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds amazing, so why is this so hard, right? Why do so many of us struggle with money? Well, a huge part of it is actually in our heads. It's about these stories we tell ourselves about money, usually without even knowing we're doing it.
The book has a great name for this, invisible money scripts. Think about it. There are these beliefs we soaked up as kids that are still running the show today. For example, if you were taught that rich people are greedy, you might actually hold yourself back from earning more without even realizing why. Or, if you feel deep down that bills are scary, that totally explains why so many people just let them pile up on the counter unopened. It's not logical, it's emotional.
And this is such a great way to visualize it. We all have that dream, right? That comfortable financial future, the happy little piggy bank. But those money scripts we just talked about, they build this invisible fence around it. And here's the thing. The goal isn't to get better at climbing the fence. The goal is to realize you can just tear the whole thing down.
All right, so once you start seeing that fence, you can start taking it apart, and you replace those old limiting beliefs with a new, positive vision. This is where we get to the absolute heart of this whole thing, defining what your rich life actually looks like.
This quote really says it all. A rich life is all about being intentional. You decide what matters most. Is it travel? Is it convenience? Maybe it's giving back. Whatever it is, you pour money into it. You spend lavishly without an ounce of guilt. And for everything else, the stuff you don't really care about, you become relentlessly frugal. You cut costs like crazy, because who cares?
And that's the key, right? Your rich life isn't my rich life. It's not about what some magazine tells you is fancy. Look at these examples from the book. For one person, it's skiing 40 days a year. Awesome. For someone else, it's just taking a taxi instead of cramming onto the subway. Or maybe it's being able to order whatever appetizer you want without even glancing at the price. It's personal. It's your definition of rich. Okay, so you've got your vision. Now let's get tactical and talk about one of those big wins. And we're going to start with something that most money experts tell you to be terrified of: credit cards. This whole philosophy says, no, stop being scared of them. Let's learn how to use them as a tool. It's about playing offense with your money, not just defense.
This is such a perfect contrast. Look, the enemy view on the left, that's 100% true if you're carrying a balance and getting crushed by interest. But, and this is a huge but, if you pay your bill in full, on time, every single month, the script flips. Suddenly, they're your ally. We're talking thousands in rewards, free insurance when you rent a car, automatic warranty extensions, all this stuff that most people don't even know exists.
And playing offense isn't just about getting points and miles. Check this out. There's a story in the book about a guy who got hit with a late fee and some interest. He just picked up the phone, was polite, and asked them to waive it. And they did. They put $59 right back in his account. Think about that. A 5-minute phone call for almost $60, that's a great return on your time.
And that right there, that's the whole point. Forget the latte. Seriously, spend that mental energy instead on a 30-minute project, like learning how to get your bank fees waived or figuring out your credit card rewards. That is a big win. It's a small bit of effort for a huge payoff.
So how do you do all this without turning into a spreadsheet-obsessed maniac who thinks about money 24/7? There's one simple answer, and it's the engine behind this entire system: automation.
See, we always think the answer is more willpower. I just have to try harder, or maybe this budgeting app will be the one. But let's be real, willpower runs out, and most of those apps are just designed to make you feel bad about your spending. That's not the secret, not even close.
Here's the real secret. It's building a system. A system that automatically sends your money where it needs to go, before you can even think about what to do with it. It's about making the right choice the easy choice, the default choice. So you literally save and invest while you're sleeping.
And here's what that system looks like. It's so simple. First, your paycheck hits your checking account. Normal stuff. But then the magic happens. Automatically, step 2, money gets zapped over to your investments. Your 401k, your Roth IRA. You're paying your future self first. Boom! Then, step 3, another automatic transfer shoots off to your savings goals. That house down payment, that trip to Italy. Step 4, all your boring bills get paid automatically. And only then, after all the important stuff is taken care of, do you get to step 5. And whatever money is left in your checking account, that is yours to spend 100% guilt-free. You've already won for the month. Go nuts.
Okay, so we've covered the mindset and the system. But look, without action, these are just cool ideas, right? And the cost of doing nothing, the cost of inaction is, well, you're about to see. It's kind of staggering.
Just look at this. It's straight from the book. You've got two people with the same $5,000 credit card debt. Dumb Dan pays the minimum. The result? He's in debt for over 25 years, and he pays over $6,000 in interest on a $5,000 debt. Now look at Smart Sally. She decides to pay a fixed $100 a month. She's out of debt in just over 6 years, nearly 20 years sooner, and saves almost $4,000 in interest. The only difference, she decided to be proactive.
And that's really the main point of all this. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius. You don't have to know everything. You just need to set up a simple system and take the very first step. Seriously, just getting started is like 85% of the work.
This quote, this might be the single most important line in the whole book. It sounds a little harsh at first, right? The problem is you. But it's actually the most empowering thing you can hear. It means you're not a victim. It's not the economy's fault, it's the bank's fault. You have the power to fix this. The problem, and more importantly, the solution, is you.
So that leaves us with one last really important question. It's not about trying to do all of this tomorrow, it's about just starting. So I want you to really think about it. What's the one small thing, the very first step, that you're going to take today to start designing your rich life?